Hey everyone, how are you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Happy Wednesday, January the what is it? The 25th. Yep, January 25th. Just checking in. Let me get the comments going here. Hi Marie. Hi buddy. All right. Looks like we got a few people in. Say hello if you're here. It's good to see you. We are going to talk about motivation. Motivation. Can y'all hear me okay? Give me a one in the chat if you can hear me okay. Let's have a one in the chat if you can hear me okay. All right. So nobody can hear me. I hope you can hear me. Okay, one. Perfect. All right. I don't know what she said. She's in the other room. She said something. Thumbs up. Yeah, do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up. Um, so yeah, it's just another manic Wednesday, right? I don't know where you are in the world, but where we are in the world, we got snow today, and that is not motivation for this guy. I hate snow. I know. I live here. This is my choice, and but you know what? Honestly, we have had such great weather so far. We're almost to the end of the month. What is it? Another 2 months, and then we're in spring. So can't complain too much. Excuse me. Anyways, so we're going to talk a little bit about motivation today. Let me move this over a little bit. Almost 3 inches of snow here today, she says. Almost 3 inches. And that's just since probably like noonish, right? In the last few hours, that's come. We're supposed to get some snow. I know you folks in the south there are getting a bunch too. And so, um, you're getting a snow system moving through, so we can't really complain, right? It's again, it's not that bad. But anyways, let's get right into this today. We're not going to wait to get started. I say that as I stall to wait to get started, but anyways, we're going to roll with this thing. We're going to talk about motivation. I don't know about you, but sometimes that is the make or break thing for me. There is a difference between thinking about something and being motivated to do it. Um, there's plenty of mornings or nights before I go to bed that I think I want to get up in the morning and go to the gym. But there's a difference of thinking about it before I go to sleep than being motivated, excuse me, when the alarm goes off and actually carrying out that plan. So, we're going to talk about motivation today. We're going to talk about what it is, why it's important, where do I get it, and how do I keep it, that kind of thing. All right. So, motivation. If I keep looking over to the side here, it's because that's where my notes are. But I'll do my best to continue to look right at you. Motivation is the drive to achieve your goals. Okay. Right. It's the power. It's the oomph, right? It's the why. How many times we hear somebody say, "What's your why?" Well, motivation is the why. It'll determine how. Um, it will be the drive to achieve your goals, and it's going to be influenced by a few things. How much do you really want that goal? How much do you really want that goal? I keep pressing on the desk and it's shaking, and I don't know if that's making me shake. And if so, I apologize. How much do you want that goal? If you achieve that goal, what's in stake? What do you gain by achieving that goal? What do you lose by not achieving that goal? And what are your personal expectations in regards to that goal? That's what the motivation is. Most people want to change at least one thing in their life. I don't know about you. Maybe you're perfect, right? Hashtag perfect. Um, but I'm going to venture out and say most people, if you are within the sound of my voice at any point in time, there is something in your life you want to change. But it can be challenging to find motivation to make that happen, to put that plan into place. And so we need to talk about motivation. It's a big deal. Um, it helps if you understand what motivation means to you, so that you can find your own ways to go ahead and get motivated. So, why is motivation so important? What's the big deal with motivation, right? We can just go through life, we can make things happen, right? Um, but man, does it go a lot better when you're motivated. Um, Motivation provides you with goals to work towards. When you're motivated, you're going to set goals for yourself. When you're motivated, you're going to find problems to fix. When you're motivated, you're going to find things to change, places you can grow. When you have motivation, you can deal with challenges and turn them into opportunities. Um, we have this, right, we bring this one up sometimes. Be stronger than your excuses. And excuses are just barriers that get in the way of you seeing what your opportunities are. um, and so if you're motivated, this is why it's important. If you're motivated, you can deal with those barriers, because you are wanting to create opportunities for yourself. Um, Most people, whether they agree with it or not, struggle, or whether you believe it or not, most people struggle with motivation. Um, but you can struggle with it even more if you're someone that's dealing with mental health issues, like anxiety or depression. Motivation, or the thought behind getting motivated, can become overwhelming. And so, just a couple thoughts on that, maybe a couple of tips to approach that is set one specific achievable goal for yourself. Why? Because that's not so overwhelming, and you can dig deep and find the motivation within yourself to accomplish it. So, last week we talked about some different things, 6 or 7 different things to put into place. And one of the things I said I was going to do, excuse me a second here. One of the things I said I was going to do was clean up after myself when I went into the bathroom, so that it wasn't a daunting task once a week, so to speak. Like, do a little bit of work when you're in front of it, kind of thing. That was a small, specific, achievable goal. And honestly, my motivation behind doing it, and I really did try to do it every time I went in there, although I was just in there recently and did not. Um, so confess your faults one to another. But one of my motivations behind accomplishing that was because I was coming on the show today, um, and would begin to talk about it. I'm going to go ahead, and I know there's nobody watching right now. Well, there's a few people. I shouldn't say nobody because you're here and that's important. Um, I'm going to go ahead and put this link in here. Um, if you want to come on the panel and talk with me. The only thing I ask is that when you come on, or try to come on, because you can't come on unless I let you, um, have your camera on so I can see your face. If you want to be off camera while you're here, that's totally fine. But I at least need to see who you are, to make sure you're a familiar face before I just kind of give you the keys to the house, so to speak. So set a specific achievable goal. Think about how to include that goal into your life. What do you need to do to make that goal come to life? How can you put it in place? Um, and then decide when you want it in place by. If it's something that you can do this week, hey, put a timestamp, get it done this week. If it's something you need a month, write it down, make it for a month. Or if it's something that you need longer, go ahead and put a time frame behind it. After you do that, we're going to go ahead and break down that goal into small, easy tasks or bullets, so to speak, to achieve it. What do I need to do to accomplish this goal? And At that point, you're going to set daily reminders for yourself. Maybe it's on your cell phone, maybe it's a post it note, whatever it might be, of what you need to do to complete each step there. Um, and that is going to enable you to begin to tackle it. So, looking at this idea of motivation and kind of what I'm talking about, how to get motivated, is everything that we're doing is coming from me. Okay. Someone else is not necessarily going to be my motivation. I'm creating a list of things for me to do where I can then find my motivation from within. Okay. You can take your motivation from someone else, but that motivation is only good as long as someone else continues to feed that to you, right? My biggest obstacle is energy and getting started. And that's the truth, I think, for a lot of us. Um, but the reality is, once we get started, right, it's a whole lot easier to continue. It's getting that thing moving. That's right. The most energy spent is starting the movement, right? It's easier to move something in a different direction while it's already in motion. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way, right? The steps are ordered by the Lord, but you already have to be stepping, right, in order to get moved. It's that same thing with our motivation, right? It's easier to direct ourselves once we get it going. And so we do have to dig deep. We have to figure this out inside of ourselves, set up that one specific achievable goal. Think about how to include that into your life. What do you need to do to make it happen? Break it down by a time frame. When do I need to get this accomplished? And then set small tasks with daily reminders on how to complete each step. You've found motivation within yourself. Next, use your friends and family as support. Tell them about your goal and encourage them to help you keep or to help keep you motivated. Not everybody, guys, not everybody in your life is going to be what you need them to be. Okay. Um, they're not going to be super mom, super dad, super sister, super whatever. Um, but find one person in your life that you trust, someone that's been there for you, someone that's proven themselves to be reliable, and use them as support. It's like that song, right? Sometimes in our lives, we all have things, we all have problems, but if we are wise. Okay, I don't know the words. Carol, Carol, you just saved everybody from me continuing. You saved me from continuing. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. The whole thought behind that pitiful rendition of "Lean on Me" is because you need somebody you can lean on. Okay, and it's okay to need that. It's okay to lean on someone to get your motivation, but the goal is for you eventually to stand on your own and have your own motivation from within. I'm going to take another drink of this tea. Excuse me. That's good tea. Um, so motivation. What's motivation? Motivation is the drive to achieve our goals. It's the oomph, it's the why, it's the power behind getting things done. And a lot of times that has to come from within. But find somebody you can lean on to help you get there. Guys, my email address is right here, heartmanmade@gmail.com. And if I can help you, I only got two hands, right? And I got a strong back though. So I got broad shoulders, they say. I can help carry your load. I'm more than happy to be there for you. The whole thought behind this, right? This is the M.A.D.E Making a Difference Every Day accountability group. We want to be there for each other, and please feel free to reach out if you need me. But maybe you need to find somebody geographically, logistically closer to you that you can count on to help you to remind you to stay on task to meet those goals. How can I stay on track to achieve my goal? Again, coming into this motivation, you need to make your goal part of your routine. How? You need to write it down. If it's not documented, it didn't happen. That's something that's always been said in the business world. And you write it down. You make it part of your routine. You put it in a journal. You put it in a diary. You use an app for reminders, but you have to make it so, right? You're going to will this to happen because it's going to be in front of you. You're going to be aware of it. It's going to be on your dashboard, so to speak. um, Stay positive. Stay positive, guys. It is very hard for me, unless I'm in a funk, um, to not be positive. I generally try to think positive. I've found that to be very beneficial in my life, my long, long, long life of now 40 years. I have learned that I've gotten a lot farther by thinking positive. So positive self-talk is important. You are your biggest cheerleader. Don't lose your pom poms, guys. Um, Everyone else will drop their pom poms, but as long as you got two in your hands, you can continue. Positive self talk is important. It's effective in managing depression or anxiety. Instead of saying, I can't, say, I can try. You know, when I was a kid, my best friend, my hero was my Uncle Phil. Um, he lived right next door to me for a lot of my life, but he was in the army for a while when I was young. And when he came back home, he moved in again right next door with his mom. He lived next door to me. And I spent a lot of time with him. And he was my real life GI Joe, right? Real American hero to me. And so anything Uncle Phil said was good enough for me. And he would take me to do all kinds of stuff. He would take me hunting. He would take me um, four wheeling. He would have me help him with projects. And there were times he would tell me to do something, and I would be trying as hard as I can, and I would just say I can't do it. And he would get real drill sergeant with me, not mean, but like firm. And he would say, can't is not a word. Can't is not in the dictionary. You do not say that word. It does not exist. You will find a way to make it happen. And so I learned early on that can't isn't something we could use. Um, this whole, instead of saying I can't do it because you've immediately given into failure, right? Instead say I'll give it a shot, or I might need some help, but I'm willing to try. Positive talk, positive thinking. Again, you are your biggest cheerleader. And I don't mean that by size, right? Right. This A lot of folks that come in here are coming in here for weight loss support. Okay, I'm not saying you're your biggest supporter. I'm saying you're your biggest supporter. You can cheer for yourself like no one else can. Sorry. Sometimes I think having a drink is distracting because my mouth gets dry a little bit, and then I think, oh, I'm going to take another drink, and then I end up chugging. It's almost gone, guys, so don't worry about that. Mindfulness helps keep you relaxed and focused. um, sometimes it's thinking through things. There are mindfulness exercises, and paying attention to your breathing. A lot of that stuff is important to kind of regain your focus, and I wouldn't discount it. I think that your mind is very powerful. However, you can control it. um, Sometimes they say you could be dealing with a lot of things, but if you were to hit your thumb with a hammer, everything around you disappears, and you're paying attention to one thing. You've immediately changed your mind by something happening. um, and so this mindfulness exercise, just stopping in chaos and literally just counting your breaths, maybe paying attention, if you're here now, right, to a unique snowflake as it falls. Just take a moment, calm down, focus, and bring yourself back to a place where you're centered. Start a class or join a support group. Welcome in, guys. There's no membership required. But this can be a huge help. And you don't have to pay for someone. Some people are getting life coaches or stuff like that, and paying for that. Here we go. We can also, unfortunately, be our biggest discourager. You're not wrong. When we stumble, we're often the hardest on ourselves. That's me too often. That's very true. That's very true. And that's why I think we have to, on purpose, make ourselves react with that positive talk. Um, you know, sometimes, okay, sometimes right here, we have to remind ourselves that that's a lie. Okay. We're going to kind of step into something. And I've shared this song with the group here before. It's by the Sidewalk Prophets. And what on earth is it called? I'm losing it now. I think it's called You Are Precious. And sometimes when we make this mistake, we remind ourselves the mess that we are. The song starts out, "Hey Glenn, thanks for stopping in, my friend. Good to see you." The song starts out, and it's kind of like a conversation that's going on in their mind. 1 second, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna drop the link real quick. Sidewalk Prophets. Precious. 1 second, guys. Stick with me. I won't lose my train of thought, and you don't let me, all right? Chosen. That's what it's called. It's called Chosen. So we're going to drop this in here. Copy this. We'll go back over to StreamYard. Here it is. All right. I want you to check that out. I want you to check this out when you guys have some time, okay? The song starts out as kind of like a conversation going on in their head. And it says, "What do you see when you look in the mirror? You're a loser, a failure." All right. And it goes on and it begins to work through the way that this person is perceiving themselves as they are their biggest discourager. Okay. And then it says, let's do this real quick. Chosen lyrics, Sidewalk Prophets. What do you see when you look in the mirror? A loser, a failure. Does every scar determine who you are? Maybe don't look, just turn away. If every day is like yesterday, winds are going to change. What do you hear when you're all alone? In your head, a dead end. Stranded at sea on a stepping stone. There's a cloud inside you, it's welling up. Your eyes are holding back a flood. It's safe to come undone. You're not worthless, you're precious. You're not left out, you're wanted. You're not invisible with your shining soul. Love has spoken. And love, by the way, is Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Love was heaven's gift. It is Jesus Christ. Love has spoken. You are chosen. You sat on the side and you tried to hide it in silence and quiet. But deep in your heart, there's a burning fire. Whoever told you that you're not strong, today's the day you're going to prove them wrong. It's in your victory song. You're not worthless. You're precious. You're not left out. You're wanted. You're not invisible with your shining soul. Love is spoken. You are chosen. Your fear is courageous and your weakness is strong. Hold on to your faith and you'll more than overcome. This is your identity. You're called to be. You are royalty. You're chosen. You're not worthless. You're precious. You're not left out. You're wanted. You're irreplaceable with your shining soul. Love has spoken. You are chosen. That is so important, guys. So important. When we get to the point where we are our biggest discourager, we have to stop and remind ourselves that's a lie, right? It's like Mari Povich sitting in the chair. The test results have come back and it is determined that's a lie. You're not worthless. So I want you to check out that song, guys. That's enough to get me motivated right now. Okay. There have been times where I've gone in the gym and that song has hit me in a way that just didn't expect it. And it has encouraged me, especially early on in my weight loss journey. Um, I was worthless. I felt worthless. I felt left out. And it wasn't other people leaving me out. It wasn't other people determining my value. That was 100% me. And I needed to change that. So positive self-talk, positive thinking, and guys, in reality, understanding the truth, right? You shall know the truth. All right, Glenn, take it easy, my friend. I hope you get home safe and have a blessed day. Guys, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Okay? It's not just positive self talk, it's focusing on the truth. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. God does not make mistakes, and He made you. So, how can I stay motivated? Well, hopefully, I can help. Hopefully this will be a little bit of encouragement and we can help you stay motivated. But regularly reviewing your goals and your progress will help you. Seeing your progress is a great motivator in itself, and it also improves your confidence in yourself. It also improves your self-esteem. Well, what if there's no progress? There's always progress when you're paying attention to something, guys. What you pay attention to gets done. And so that's why I'm telling you, that's why we're talking about this, and we're continuing to reiterate these small steps, these goals, putting reminders in place, asking for help, becoming your biggest cheerleader, and telling yourself when your biggest discourage when you are your biggest discourager, telling yourself you're a liar. Why are you doing this? Because we're going to monitor our efforts towards our goal so that we can stay motivated by seeing our progress and continue to set new goals. Think about what you want to achieve next week. What do you want to achieve next month or even next year? And tackle these one at a time so you don't get overwhelmed. Um, just so you know, sometimes by you doing this, you will then motivate someone else. It's a byproduct. It's not intentional, it's not on purpose. But as you begin to kind of clean up your life in certain areas, right? Others around you are motivated to clean too, right? Think about it. I don't know. Sometimes you drive through neighborhoods and it's like this might be where community garage sales happen, right? It's like one neighbor started cleaning out their garage and putting stuff out, and the next neighbor saw it and they're like, oh, it's probably a good time for me to do that. Next thing you know, you got a whole neighborhood, a whole community cleaning stuff out, right? It's motivating to see other people get done. When the weather's really nice and you hear the lawnmower outside, it's like, oh man, as soon as I get done working here, I got to get out there and cut my grass. Why? Because it's motivation to keep up on your own stuff in your life, or to keep up with I don't even know her last name, with Kathy. um, but sometimes by setting new goals, and sometimes by um, doing this in your own life, you're going to help those around you again as a byproduct to get motivated. Um, Keep the momentum up. Don't quit. Don't quit. I remember as a kid, and I'm going to be speaking at our church on February the 8th, I think it is. It's a Wednesday night. And I've been kind of like thinking about what I want to speak about. what's on my heart kind of thing. And one topic that has been on my mind, and it takes me back to a sermon I heard as a kid. I can tell you, I know exactly where I was. I don't know what I was wearing, but I know I was in a tent in the back part of the property of the church. There was a preacher here from Florida, and the title of his message was "It's Too Soon to Quit." And he reiterated that fact over and over again. I mean, he was one of those hoop and holler and Pentecostal type fired up preachers, and he was just screaming, "It's too soon to quit." And guys, in your life, in your journey right now, it is too soon to quit. And so I'm not speaking about that at the church, but that did kind of inspire me a little bit. Um, and I'm hoping that'll inspire you a little bit as we say, can keep the momentum up. It's too soon to quit. Takes about 2 months, they say, 8 weeks to develop a new habit, right? And so if we're looking for motivation, if we're looking to get things started, think about a time in your life when you were thriving. Everything was happening. And sometimes, guys, sometimes we get into a place where we think, I don't know if that's ever been in my life. Um, it's been there. Okay. And when it was there, it was because you have a long pattern of doing the right thing consistently. And so, um, while on average it's going to take 8 weeks, I don't want you to give up after 8 weeks because for some people it can take longer. But you're going to keep the momentum going and routine in place because that will help make it feel more automatic over time. Okay. It'll just become your normal thing. This past summer, starting in June until October, it was automatic for us to get up and go to the gym. It did not require, guys, it did not require work. It was easy because we were motivated and we had momentum. Honeymoon's over. Now is when the work is required. Now is when the commitment needs to come into place. It's no longer automatic because I allowed the momentum to stop. I slowed down for the holidays. I slowed down. And so now I need to it's going to take, again, it takes more energy to start something moving again after it's stopped moving rather than to keep it moving. And so I'm going to encourage you keep this motivation going because it's easier to stay automatic. Find a mentor, find someone who is an example, find someone who is your I don't want to say sponsor because it's not like that, but if that's what you need to consider it, find someone that you can call and say, I need some advice, I need some help, I need someone to talk to, someone that's going to encourage you, someone who has aligned goals with you, um, and someone whose experience in successfully navigating the waters you're trying to navigate. Um, and then surround yourself with positive people. So, how can I stay motivated? It is hard to get demotivated when everyone around you is positive. Okay, positive friends, positive family, that will enhance your positive self talk. Maybe you'll have to find a new circle, right? Sometimes all families not positive. Sometimes all friends aren't positive. And I'm not saying write them off or remove them. I'm just saying find somebody to put yourself around that's going to help. I see out of the corner of my eye, spy with my little eye. Debbie, a little bit late. Apologies. No need to apologize. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Little late appointment and raining, but I'm home and listening. It is snowing here, so just be thankful for that. I'm going to take the last sip of my tea, guys, or slug or gulp or whatever you want to call it. It's gone now, and it was good. Surround yourself with positive people, positive friends that will enhance, encourage, and increase your positive self talk. That's also going to help minimize any anxiety or depression. Guys, it's hard to water anxiety and depression when you're around positivity. It is hard to water anxiety and depression when you're around positivity. Oh my goodness gracious. Use exercise as one of your daily goals to improve mental health. I've told you this before. Maybe you were here, maybe you weren't. In 2007, I got really sick, had C. diff colitis. I lost a bunch of weight in about a week, and it almost killed me. But what else it did in that meantime was it made me crazy. My mind was not working right. My wires were frayed. Um, I was essentially starving. The doctor told me you're not thinking right because your body is in starvation. And after I got to a place where I was starting to recover, I got out of the hospital. Um, and I like to hear that. I've had a good week staying focused and only one slip up. Great work. The doctor encouraged me because I was fearful about getting sick. I really, for the first time in my life here, I was 24 years old and I was actually thinking about dying. Um, and the doctor said, in order to clean up my thinking, he wanted me to get out and move, get some exercise. Exercise gives us endorphins. Endorphins help us to think positively and properly. So, how do you stay motivated? Add some exercise in. You might think, I can't do that or I don't want to, right? But again, after 8 weeks, plus or minus, it's going to become automatic. It's going to be regular routine and it's going to help. So, what do I do if I lose my motivation? What do I do if I lose my motivation? This is, my friend, normal. I almost said it's okay. I don't think it's okay, but I think it's okay for you to accept it as normal. But developing resilience can help you carry on and continue from where you left off. So while setbacks are normal, if you become like a weeble, right? Weebles wobble, but we don't fall down. Become a bouncing ball, right? I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever he says bounces off me and sticks to glue, right? Become resilient. Don't let things bother you. Always land on your feet, kind of thing. And as you do that, you can begin to start where you tripped, right? Review your goals and see if they are realistic in the time frame that you have set. So I've lost my motivation. I'm going to take a minute to reflect and I'm going to say, is this realistic? Do I need to add some more time? Do I need to, dissect this goal, and part it out and tackle it in pieces here? I need to remember while I'm taking that time to reflect, I need to remember, why did I set that goal or why did I find my motivation in the first place? Sometimes we got to go back to the place where we started to remind ourselves why we started. Okay. For me, it might be going into my care on the app and taking a look at the first blood work results that came back at the end of February of 2021. Guys, we're almost a year from there. And remind myself, why did I start to make some changes? Because I was killing myself slowly, but very effectively. I was making bad choices that were hurting me. I saw a memory on my phone from 2000, and I think it was 2017. It was a live video of me, and I did not recognize the man that was sitting in the car behind that camera. There was a lot more of him. I said to Heather as I was getting out of the shower yesterday, I said, that's back when I was X amount of weight, like 100 pounds heavier. And she said, at least. Because the most I know that I've weighed is 100 pounds, about 100 pounds more than I weigh right now. And that man that I was looking at in that live video, he was at least that 100 pounds. And that's a good way to find my motivation again. To take myself back to that place where I did not want to be anymore. And we all have those places. We all have those reminders. You know, you just may have to you're not going to my care to find it, right, on the app. to see my results to remind you why I started. But you all have something, and you might need to take a minute to go back, remind yourself, why did you get started in the first place? You might need to take some motivation. I've lost my motivation. What do I do? Borrow some from somebody else. You might need to read a book. You might need to join a positive chat. Again, find some encouraging friends. We all have some people in our lives that are like, I don't know, magnetic, I guess. You're just attracted to them when you're around them. They just make you feel good. It's like sunshine. Um, and just feel warm and encouraged when they're around. You might need to schedule a breakfast or a lunch with someone like that. And maybe that's your mentor. Maybe that's your circle of trust, so to speak, that you've already told what and why, your what and your why. And you might need to schedule a, hey, help me get back on track breakfast. Saturday morning, let's go out for coffee, pancakes, and let's fix this. Maybe not pancakes. That's probably a bad choice. Uh, but you might need to get that back on track meeting scheduled, that back on track breakfast scheduled. Thanks, Heather. You motivated me this week with that walk and talk. It helped the last couple of days to stay focused. Awesome. She's out there. She helped me today because we got 3 inches of snow in like 3 hours, and she went out there. She was just going to shovel the sidewalk, and then she ended up shoveling the entire driveway. And she definitely motivates me. It's, again, sometimes our motivation comes from other people, and sometimes you just need to take a breath and decide you're going to start again. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Um, but yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on motivation. What is motivation? Why is it important? How can I get motivated? How can I stay motivated? What do I do if I lose my motivation? That kind of thing. Talked about setting some goals and whatnot. Do you have uh, any thoughts on motivation? Any questions? Anything? This Nobody's been joining me on chat here. um, this is a good time. Oh, my 1 ounce silver round I was watching got away. Sometimes I do that if I want to see how much they sell for. I click watch or the little heart on eBay. Anyways, what are your thoughts, guys? If not, we can wrap it up a little bit early today. I thought this was good. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, kind of earlier on, when we got going here in June, July, August, September, October, it was automatic. It was so easy. And like this morning, well, this week, starting into this week, um, I needed to get focused and get back in the gym on a regular schedule, get up early. When we have a holiday, I work shorter week, so I work more hours, and I go next door and get Spike his breakfast, make sure he's got his medicine. I go over later on, I check his mail, check on him in the evening. Like tonight, I'll put his trash out and recycles. Like a lot of things I'm paying attention to, um, and sometimes I'm neglecting my own. Okay, Adam, just go to sleep. Don't stay up so late. Don't watch so much TV. Don't watch so many YouTube live streams where they're selling and giving away silver. Stop, get some rest because you have some things you have to do. And so I lost my focus for a little while. I still have continued to eat right, stay on plan. Um, but some of the things that have helped me greatly is that motivation that I had to stay in the gym. So one night the other week, I just had to go downstairs and start throwing some weights around and did some exercise there. But this week I wanted to get up and get back on track. And Monday came around and I was up late Sunday. So I woke up and I said, I'll go after work on. Oh, I had to take Heather to get her blood work Monday morning. And so I told my brother-in-law I'd go to the gym with him when he got out of work. Well, I had an awful headache, and so I didn't. I asked him if he wanted to come over and use the gym in our basement, and he did, and I didn't. And so confess your faults one to another, right? And then what's today? Wednesday. So Tuesday, I said I'm gonna get up and go to the gym on Tuesday, and I didn't. And so this morning, last night, I went to bed at a reasonable hour, and I said, you know what? I have to I have to go to bed because I have to do this. And Heather had plans this morning, and I knew she didn't sleep very well, and so I'm like, regardless, um, I'm going to go to the gym. And so I went to the gym. I was watching Larry's show while I was on the treadmill, and when he was showing off his tidy whities. Um, and then saw some of Nana Tink while she was covering Victoria's show, and still got all of my plan done. But guys, the motivation, it did not create itself. I had to dig deep and give it to myself. And tomorrow it's going to be easier than it was this morning. I've had a hard time generally because I can't really control some of the stress factors. This accountability thing has been very helpful because I feel support when we connect. It's working. Oh, I appreciate that. I think about the bullet points throughout the week. It literally helps, I swear. Oh, I love that. I love that. The reality is I want to be making a difference every day. M.A.D.E, right? Heather wants to be making a difference every day. I know you all want to be making, and sometimes we don't know what a difference we're making, and so it's really neat to hear that. That kind of um, puts another log on my fire, so to speak, warms my heart a little bit. I definitely want to be effective. I want to be making a difference. And so that makes me happy to know that I'm doing that for someone else. Um, what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to take these bullet points here um, and I will go ahead and type them maybe in one of the comments on this video. So check one of the comments. I'm also going to post it in the Facebook group a little bit. Well, see, I don't write it down. Sometimes I do a lot of talking from the hip. So I'll try and get something written up though to put it out here, some ideas. But nothing beats just watching the video. Heather's got a dinner tomorrow night, and she's watching this podcast series, I guess, and so she wants me to cover for her, so to speak. And I'm like, can we just get a video recording because I'm going to miss something. There's nothing that beats or nothing better than just watching it through. We got 48 minutes, probably 45 minutes of content. This last few minutes have just been me rambling, but I would have kept my goals vague and continued. We all would have. We all would have. But a goal definitely needs to be specific because we can't measure a vague goal. Um, so, guys, I love you. I appreciate you taking time with me today. We're going to wrap this thing up a little bit early, but do me a favor. If this has helped you out at all, you know, we all have community tabs on Facebook now. If you have any sort of subscribers, do me a favor and share this on your community tab. I'd love to see more people come in. But the fact that I've made a difference in your life is most important to me. I really appreciate you allowing me into this space of your life and affording me a little bit of your time. I pray that you have a great week. I pray that you do well this week. Stay motivated, stay strong, know that you're loved. God bless you, and I'll talk to you later.